1. Cook lasagna noodles according to package directions, or until tender but still firm. Drain, keep warm. 2. Meanwhile, sauté the ground beef. Garlic and onion is a large, heavy skillet or saucepan until beef is done. Add sauce, salt, and Italian seasoning and mix well. Simmer on low heat 12 to 15 minutes. In a separate bowl, combine eggs and cottage cheese. 3. Grease a 9x12 or larger baking pan. Arrange a first layer of noodles, a layer of the cooked beef, cottage cheese, and mozzarella cheese. Add a second alternating layer of lasagna noodles and other ingredients. Repeat until pan is full, ending up with a top layer of the lasagna sauce. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese and bake at 350 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes. Barchetta and divia belga e tailgi. For Belgian and div heads 1/2 pound tailgio cheese, room temp 1/4 pound smoked salmon, thin slice 15 prosciutto or bresaola minus cured beef slices 2 tablespoon fennel leaves, finely chop 2 tablespoon parsley, fresh, fine chop 1 tablespoon sun minus dried tomatoes, pureed 1 cup roasted peppers, cut in thin strips fresh ground black pepper extra virgin olive oil. Carefully remove endive leaves. Rinse and dry carefully. Salmon boats. Place a slice of salmon on the endive leaf, enough to sit in the endive boat. Remove the outer skin of the tailgio and leave half the cheese for the second combination. Gently blend the cheese with the fennel leaves. Drizzle a little extra virgin olive oil on the salmon and grind a couple of turn of pepper. Place a spoonful of tailgio on top and serve. Bresaola boats. Place a slice of bresaola or prosciutto on the endive. Place a strip of roasted red pepper on top. Drizzle with extra virgin olive oil and sprinkle with chopped parsley. Gently mix the sun minus dried tomatoes into the cheese. Place a spoonful on top of the boat, endive, and serve. If unable to locate tailgio cheese, use goat's cheese. Basic Italian bread. Biga 1/2 teas. Active dry yeast 1 cup lukewarm water 2 cups unbleached. All-purpose flour. Mix the yeast and water together, and then slowly start adding the flour, mixing well. Cover with plastic wrap and let sit at room temperature for up to 6 hours. Refrigerate overnight. Bread 2 cups warm water, about 90 degrees F. 1 pkg. Active dry yeast 5-6 cups all-purpose. Unbleached flour 2 ts. Salt. Place the water in a large bowl. Sprinkle the yeast over top and mix well. Let sit 10 minutes until bubbly. Add the biga, flour, and salt, and stir with a wooden spoon or mix with your hands until everything is mixed. The dough will be fairly wet and sticky at this point. Cover and let stand in a warm spot for about 1 to 1/2 hours until doubled in volume. Punch down the dough, folding it over on itself 2 or 3 times. Cover and let rise once more until doubled, about 1 hour. If you choose, you could refrigerate your dough at this time and leave it overnight to prepare the next day. Turn out your dough onto a floured baking sheet, and without overworking it too much, shape into 1 large or 2 smaller round or oval-shaped loaves, using as much extra flour as needed to keep it from sticking. Slash across the tops of the loaves with a serrated knife or razor just prior to baking. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees F and place a casserole dish with boiling water on the lower oven rack. Bake your bread 30 minutes. Turn the baking sheet around and reduce the heat to 300 degrees and bake for another 30-45 minutes. At this point, your bread should be golden brown and should sound hollow when you tap the bottom. Allow the bread to cool to room temperature and serve. Basic polenta. 9 cups water, 1 teaspoon salt, 3 cups cornmeal, coarse minus grain. Bring water to a boil in a large, heavy pot. Add salt and reduce heat until water is simmering. Take cornmeal by the handful and add to water very slowly, controlling the flow to a thin stream through your fingers. To avoid lumps, stir quickly with a long-handled wooden spoon while adding cornmeal. If necessary, stop adding cornmeal from time to time and beat mixture vigorously. Cook, stirring constantly, 20 to 30 minutes. Polenta will become very thick while cooking. It is done when it comes away cleanly from the sides of the pot. Pour polenta into a large wooden board or a large platter. Wet your hands and smooth out polenta evenly, about 2 inches thick. Let cool 5 to 10 minutes or until polenta solidifies. Cut cooled polenta into slices 1 inch wide and 6 inches long. Place slices in individual dishes. Serve hot, covered with your favorite sauce. Make 6 to 8 servings. Variation: fried polenta, polenta fritta. Prepare polenta and let cool completely. Cut cooled polenta into slices 2 inches wide and 6 inches long. Pour oil about 1 inch deep in a large skillet. Heat oil until a 1-inch cube of bread turns golden almost immediately. Fry polenta slices on both sides until light golden. Drain on paper towels. Serve hot. It is important to ensure the oil is hot enough. Otherwise, the polenta will absorb oil and your polenta will be greasy and unpalatable. Braciole balsamico, 1-1/2 pound top round. Very thin sliced 1/2 cup fresh basil. Minced 2 roasted red peppers, diced 4 tablespoon Parmesan, fresh grated 2 tablespoon parsley, minced salt and pepper 6 slice prosciutto, very thin 2 tablespoon olive oil 2 tablespoon parsley, minced 1/4 cup balsamic vinegar 2 tablespoon pepper, black fresh ground 2 cloves garlic, finely minced 1/4 cup olive oil. Place beef slices on counter or flat surface. Get your butcher to slice them. He can do it so much neater than we can. Sprinkle with the red peppers and parsley. Cut prosciutto to fit each beef slice and place over peppers. Sprinkle with basil leaves, Parmesan and pepper. Roll tightly and tie in 2 places with kitchen twine to secure, or use toothpicks. Combine all marinade ingredients and pour over beef rolls in non-reactive pan. Let set at room temp for an hour or refrigerate for several hours. Remove from marinade. Reserving marinade. Heat 1/4 cup olive oil in large heavy skillet. Brown beef rolls on all sides. Add marinade and simmer for 20 minutes. Or you can put into tightly covered baking dish and bake at 350 for 15-20 minutes. Caxiuco alla Livornese, 4 TBS. Extra virgin olive oil 1 med. Onion, finely chopped 1 stalk celery, finely chopped 1 med. Carrot, finely chopped 4-8 calamari. Cleaned and chopped into rings 1 cup. Dry red wine 128 Oz. Can Italian plum, tomatoes 1 lb. Mussels, cleaned and bearded 1 dozen little neck. Clams 1 cup water 1 daz. Medium shrimp, peeled and veined 1 daz. Sea scallops, optional 2 lb. Assorted firm fleshed fish, haddock, shroud, cod, monkfish, etc. Cut into large chunks 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley. Finely chopped, freshly ground black pepper. Heat the olive oil over moderate heat in a 4 to 6 quart pot. Then add the onion, celery, and carrot, stirring as they go in. Sauté the vegetables until they become soft and slightly browned about 10 minutes. Raise the heat to high and add the calamari. Sauté, stirring constantly, until they become purple and begin to brown slightly 2 or 3 minutes. With the heat still on high, add the red wine, scraping the bottom of the pot for any bits of vegetables that may have caramelized. Boil for a minute or 2 in order to evaporate the alcohol. Reduce the heat to low and, with the pot off the stove, add the tomatoes, crushing them with the back of a fork as they go in. Return the pot to the stove and bring the calamari/tomato/wine mixture to the simmer. Simmer gently while you prepare the mussels and clams. In a separate 4 to 6 quart pot, add the mussels, clams, and water, then bring to the boil. Cover the pot, lower the heat to medium, and allow the shellfish to steam for about 5 minutes, or until their shells open. Discard any that have not opened. When they have finished steaming, remove the pot from the stove and remove the shellfish with a slotted spoon, reserving the steaming liquid. When the shellfish are cool enough to handle, remove them from their shells. Add the shrimp and optional scallops to the simmering tomato mixture, raising the heat if necessary to maintain the simmer. Cook for approximately 3 minutes until the shrimp begin to turn pink. Add the clams and mussels and their reserved steaming liquid, being careful at the end not to add any sand that may have precipitated to the bottom of the pot. Simmer for an additional 3 minutes, stirring gently once or twice. Add the fish, but do not stir the pot this time, as it will cause the fish to break apart further. You're seeking a finished dish with large chunks of fish, in addition to the other seafood. Simmer for 5 minutes, then remove the pot from the heat. If using bruschetta, place a piece in each of 4 bowls, then ladle the soup over the bread, being careful to include a sample of each type of seafood you've cooked. Garnish each bowl with the freshly chopped parsley and a few grinds of black pepper. Serve at once. Calamari fritti, 3 pounds, squid minus cleaned, and cut into rings oil for frying 1 cup of flour salt lemon wedges. Heat 1 inch of oil in a deep skillet. Dip calamari in flour and shake off excess. Fry until golden, drain on paper towels, and serve with lemon wedges. Calamari imbatiti, 8 small squid, 1 small onion. Chopped 2 tablespoons raisins, 1-1/2 cups breadcrumbs, 1 teaspoon, minced parsley, 2 tablespoons grated Parmesan cheese, salt, and pepper, 1 egg. Well beaten 1 hash 2 can tomatoes, 4 tablespoon olive oil, 1 clove garlic. Have fish dealer clean squid thoroughly, removing eyes, outside skin, and intestines. Cut off heads and tentacles. Wash well and drain. Combine remaining ingredients and fill the cavity in each squid with stuffing. Sew squid closed or fasten with toothpicks. Place in baking dish or pan and cover with the following sauce: 1 hash 2 can tomatoes, 4 tablespoon olive oil, 1 clove garlic. Brown garlic in oil. Mash tomatoes with fork and add. Simmer for 10 minutes, then pour over squid and bake in hot oven 400 degree for 35 minutes, or until tender. Serve whole with sauce. Cannellini bean salad. Dressing: 1 cup olive oil to 1/3 cup red wine vinegar, salt and pepper to taste, pinch of oregano, 1 clove garlic, slightly broken. Salad: 2 cans cannellini beans, 2 red onions, chopped 1 bell pepper, minced parsley. Dressing: mix all ingredients together and let set at room temperature to blend flavors. Salad: drain 2 cans of cannellini beans and rinse under cold water. Place in bowl and add 2 red onion chopped, 1 bell pepper cut in small pieces, and some minced parsley. Add the dressing and adjust the salt and pepper. Add a little more oregano if desired. Cannelloni: 1 lb. Ground beef, salt and pepper to taste, 2 cloves of garlic. Minced: 1 egg, 1/4 cup grated Romano cheese, 1/4 cups chopped fresh parsley, 1/4 cup bread crumbs, 1 cup cooked. Chopped spinach, 2 cups tomato sauce. Fry ground beef with a little oil. As beef is cooking, break it up in small pieces. Transfer beef to a large mixing bowl. Add salt, pepper, and garlic. Mix well. Add egg, cheese, parsley, breadcrumbs, and more salt to taste. Squeeze water out of cooked spinach and chop. Add spinach and 1/2 cup tomato sauce. Spread some tomato sauce on the bottom of a baking pan. Stuff cannelloni shells and place in pan. Spread more tomato sauce in between each layer and on the top. Bake at 350 degrees F for 1 hour. Then, broil for 2-3 minutes to brown top. Cannoli, 1/3/4 cups flour. Approximately 1 tablespoon sugar, 1/4 teaspoons salt, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 3 tablespoons wine vinegar, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon butter or margarine. At room temperature, 1 pound ricotta, cheese 1/2 cup confectioners, sugar 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons finely minced candied orange peel. Optional, 3 tablespoons, chocolate 1/2 teaspoons cinnamon, 2 tablespoons orange curacao. Optional, 1 egg white. To brush, 1/4 cup chopped pistachio or other nuts to garnish. Optional, 1 tablespoon confectioner's sugar. To sprinkle oil for deep frying. Dough, 1. Use your electric mixer. In a mixing bowl, measure 1 cup flour, sugar, salt, and cinnamon. Attach bowl and dough hook. Turn to medium-slow speed and blend for approximately 45 seconds. With the mixer running, add vinegar, water, egg, and butter. Mix to blend for 2 to 3 minutes. Add remaining flour, 1/4 cup at a time, as needed to make a dough that clings to the hook. 2. Knead for 5 minutes. If dough clings to the sides of the bowl, add sprinkles of flour. Dough will be smooth and elastic. 3. Wrap the soft dough in foil or plastic and refrigerate to relax and chill for at least 1 hour. 4. Heat at least 2 inches of vegetable oil to 375 degrees. 5. Place dough on a floured work surface and roll extremely thin (1/16 inch or less. Don't rush. When the dough pulls back, allow it to relax. If it softens and sticks, return it to the fridge for 5 or 10 minutes. Cut 4 1/2 inch circles, size of a many small margarine tub lids. Roll the dough scraps out and continue until all dough is used. You should have 12 to 14 circles. 6. When the circles are cut, roll again just before placing on the cannoli tubes. This will give them an oval shape, about 5 inches by 4 1/2 inches. 7. Place the dough so that its longest dimension is the length of the metal tube. Brush the tip of the dough with egg white to seal. Hold dough on the tube. 8. Deep frying. The length of time will depend on the thickness of the shells. A very thin shell will need about 2 minutes. A thicker shell could require up to 6 minutes. Fry 2 or 3 at a time. Turn over once during frying. Fry until golden brown. Remove with tongs. Cool for a few minutes, and then push the tubes free to use again. Cool shells completely before filling. Filling, 1. Cream ricotta cheese in a bowl with a spatula or wooden spoon, or with an electric mixer until smooth. About 5 minutes. Add confectioner's sugar, vanilla, candied fruit, chocolate, cinnamon, and orange curacao. Continue beating another 4 or 5 minutes. Refrigerate until ready to fill shells. 2. Use a small spoon to stuff the filling into the shells. Dip the ends in chopped nuts. Sift confectioner's sugar over the shells and serve. 3. Unfilled shells can be stored in a cool, dry place for 3 to 4 weeks, or frozen for 3 months. Cantucci. 4 1/2 cups all-purpose flour, 1-1/2 cups castor sugar, 3 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 4 eggs, 2 egg yolks, 8 Oz. Chopped almonds, unblanched, 2 more egg yolks. Keep a little milk around to use in the glaze. Preheat the oven to 450 F. Mix the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, the salt, the whole eggs, and the yolk all together. When the dough is smooth, knead the almonds into it. Divide the dough into 8 parts and make each into a cigar shape. Flour a baking sheet and place the logs on it, giving them each some room and slide into preheated oven. Bake for 20 minutes, or until they are a nice gold color. While the logs are still warm, cut them into 1-inch thick slices and then cook them for another 5 minutes. Let them get cool before serving. Hint, you don't have to eat them all at once. Cantucci stay good for a pretty long time if you keep them in a nice, airtight container. Caponata. 2 large eggplants, 1 teaspoon salt, 3/4 cup olive oil, 2 cloves garlic. Crushed 2 onions, chopped 1 pound plum tomatoes, quartered 3 celery stalks, diced 1 pound can pitted black olives, 12-ounce jar olive salad, 1/4 cup capers, 1/2 cup pine nuts, 1/4 cup red wine vinegar, 2 teaspoons sugar, salt, and pepper to taste. Wash and cube unpeeled eggplant. Salt and let stand 1 hour. Squeeze dry. Sauté in oil until soft. Remove. Sauté onions and garlic in same oil. Add tomatoes, olives, and celery. Cook until tender -15 minutes. Add eggplant, capers, and pine nuts. In another pan, heat vinegar and sugar. When dissolved, pour over eggplant. Season to taste and cook an additional 20 minutes. Serve hot or cold as relish with dinner, or with French bread rounds as a buffet or cocktail dish. Carbonara sauce. 4 tablespoon butter, 8 slice bacon. Cut in 1/4. Strips 2 eggs, 2 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon red pepper. Flakes 1 cup Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup heavy cream, 1 teaspoon salt, black pepper, 1 pound spaghetti, 8 quarts water. 4 tablespoon butter, 8 slice bacon. Cut in 1/4. Strips 2 eggs, 2 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon red pepper. Flakes 1 cup Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup heavy cream, 1 teaspoon salt, black pepper, 1 pound spaghetti, 8 quarts water. Carrot in crema con fungi. 1/3 ounce dried porcini mushrooms, 2 tablespoon unsalted butter, 2 pound small to medium size carrots. Sliced juice of 1/2 lemon, a pinch of grated nutmeg, salt, and pepper, cup whipping cream, 2 tablespoon chopped fresh chives. Soak the mushrooms in warm water for 30 minutes. Remove, squeeze dry, and chop. Strain the water through a fine sieve and set aside. In a saucepan, heat the butter. Add the carrots and, stirring, cook over moderate heat for about 10 minutes. Season with lemon juice, nutmeg, salt, and pepper. Add the mushrooms and stir in the cream. Cover the pan and simmer over low heat for about 30 minutes, or until the cream is partially reduced. If the sauce is too thick, dilute with a little of the mushroom water. Sprinkle with chives and serve on a warm platter. Cavatelli sausage with broccoli. Squeeze sausage from casings and sauté in a heavy skillet or cast iron frying pan. Stir until no longer pink and sausage has broken down into small chunks. Remove sausage with slotted spoon, leaving juices in pan. Cut broccoli into 1-inch pieces and sauté in juices or drippings from the sausage. Stir gently till it begins to brown. Add garlic and sauté 1 minute more. Add broth and raisins and simmer until the broccoli is tender, about 3 minutes. Do not overcook. Finally, add butter and stir to melt. Add, with sausage, to cooked pasta and serve with Parmesan cheese. Cheese ravioli. 8 squares of 4x 4 squares of fresh pasta, 3/4 cup ricotta cheese, 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup goat cheese, 2 cloves garlic. Chopped salt and pepper to taste, tomato broth. 2 teaspoons olive oil, 3 cloves garlic, chopped 3 shallots, chopped 1/2 cup red wine, 1-1/2 cup strong chicken stock, 4 very ripe tomatoes, seeded and chopped 2 tablespoons minced sun-dried tomatoes, 1/2 teaspoon cracked black pepper, 1 tablespoon, chopped basil, 1/3 cup Parmesan cheese. For the raviolis, in a small bowl, mix together ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, goat cheese, and garlic and mix well. Season with salt and pepper and mix well. Lay 4 of the squares of pasta out on a board and moisten the edges well with water. Place about 1/4 cup of the cheese mixture in the middle of the pasta, then top with a square of pasta and crimp the edge well. Set aside until ready to serve. For the tomato broth, heat a large sauté pan with olive oil until very hot. Add garlic and shallots and sauté until you can smell the aroma about 1 minute. Add red wine and reduce about 3 minutes. Until almost dry, add chicken stock and tomatoes, and over high heat reduce about 5 minutes. Add tomatoes, basil and pepper and simmer for about 2 minutes. Season with salt. Keep warm. To assemble, heat 2 quarts of salted water until boiling. Add the raviolis and cook just until the water comes back to a boil about 2 to 3 minutes. Place the raviolis into a soup plate, then pour the tomato broth over the raviolis. Serve hot and garnished with Parmesan cheese. Chicken Valdostano, 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 6 boneless chicken breasts, pounded to 1/4-inch thickness, 1/4 cup unsalted butter or margarine, 10 mushrooms. Thinly sliced 3/4 cup dry white wine, 3/4 cup veal stock, or chicken stock or turkey stock. 2 to 3 tablespoons fresh chopped parsley, freshly ground white pepper to taste, 6 thin slices prosciutto ham, 6 thin slices fontina cheese. Lightly flour chicken breasts, shaking off excess flour. In a large skillet over low heat, melt butter/margarine. Add chicken and sauté until lightly browned, about 2 minutes each side. Remove with slotted spatula and set aside. Increase heat to medium-low. Add mushrooms and sauté until juices are rendered, about 4 minutes. Add wine and simmer until reduced by 1/4, about 3 to 4 minutes. Increase heat to medium-high. Add stock, parsley and pepper and simmer until sauce reduced to 1 cup, about 10 minutes. Reduce heat to low. Top each chicken breast with a slice of prosciutto and a slice of fontina cheese. Return chicken to skillet and cook just until cheese melts. Transfer chicken to individual plates and top each with some of the mushroom sauce before serving. Chicken Vesuvio, Palo alla Vesuvio. 1 fryer chicken, cut up. 1-1/2 teaspoon basil, 1/2 teaspoon salt, pinch of rosemary and sage, 3 baking potatoes. Cut in lengthwise wedges, 3 tablespoon, chopped fresh parsley, 1/3 cup flour, 3/4 teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon, each minus thyme, and pepper, 1/2 cup olive oil, 3 cloves garlic, minced 3/4 cup dry white wine. Wash and pat chicken dry. Mix flour with all the herbs, salt and pepper. Coat chicken pieces lightly all over with flour mixture, shaking off excess. Heat oven to 375 degrees. Heat a 12 cast iron skillet over medium heat. Add chicken pieces in a single layer. Fry, turning occasionally until lightly brown. Place on paper towels. In same oil, brown potatoes. Pour off all but 2 tablespoons of oil. Put chicken and potatoes back in skillet. Sprinkle with garlic and parsley. Pour wine over all. Bake uncovered at 375 degrees for 20-25 minutes. Circuita, 3 cups all-purpose flour, 4 extra large eggs, 1 tablespoon. Lemon rind grated, 4 cups vegetable oil, 1 cup honey, 2 cups whole hazelnuts, 4 squares, 4 Oz. Semi-sweet chocolate. Place flour in a large bowl, make a well. Add eggs and lemon rind, mix. Knead till dough is elastic. Set aside for 30 minutes. Take a small amount of dough and roll into a long strip. Cut short lengths to form small balls. In a deep fryer, cook dough pieces until golden. Bring honey to a boil and simmer for 5 minutes. Add chocolate, cook until melted. Remove from heat and add nuts. Coat balls in honey/chocolate/nut mixture. In a tube pan, pile honey-coated balls around sides. Cool slightly and press balls together. Isiapino, 3 cloves garlic, minced 1/4 cup onion, finely chopped 2 tablespoons parsley, chopped 1 cup olive oil, 2 cups tomato sauce, 1/28 oz. Can tomatoes, 1/2 teaspoon dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon dried marjoram, leaves, salt and pepper to taste, 1/2 cup dry sherry, 2 rock lobster tails with shells, uncooked, cut into serving pieces, 2/3 pound raw shrimp, peeled and deveined, 1-1/2 pounds whitefish, haddock, halibut or cod, cut into serving pieces, 24 clams in shell, or 7 1/2 oz. Cans minced clams, drained. Cook garlic, onion, and parsley in hot olive oil until onion is tender. Add tomato sauce, tomatoes, oregano, and marjoram. Add 1/2 cups water, salt, and pepper. Stir. Cover tightly. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat and simmer, uncovered, 20 minutes. Add sherry and simmer another 10 minutes. Stir in remaining ingredients, adding clams last. Cover, bring to a boil, reduce heat, and simmer 15 minutes. Serve hot with French bread. Clams Organa Basilico. 36 clams, 2 tablespoon grated Romano cheese, 2/3 tablespoon dry white wine, 2 tablespoon minced fresh Italian parsley stuffing. 1/2 cup fresh bread, crumbs, juice of 1/2 lemon, approx. 2 tab, 1 tablespoon fresh basil, 1 tablespoon oregano, 1 tablespoon minced garlic. Combine all stuffing ingredients by mixing with hands. Use more olive oil if the mixture seems too dry. Preheat oven to 500 F. Shuck clams and replace meat on half-minus shells. Pack about 1 heaping TBS, stuffing on each. Bake in preheated oven for about 10 minutes. Remove from oven and sprinkle each clam with a few drops of wine. Return to oven and bake 2 to 3 minutes more, or until lightly browned. Conchigli Taro Giardino. 1-1/2 cups carrots. Sliced 1 cup chopped onion, 1 red onion. Chopped 7 tomatoes. Sliced 3 cups zucchini. Sliced 1 bell pepper, 1-1/2 cups white wine, 2 tablespoons basil, 3 cloves garlic, 1 dash salt, 1 dash pepper, 1 dash sugar, 1 tablespoon flour, 6 oz. Tomato paste, 1/2 cup Parmesan cheese, 1 cup light cream, or half and half, 1-1/2 pounds shell pasta. Saute carrots, onions, parsley, basil, garlic for about 15 min. Cover and simmer for 15 more min. Add tomatoes, zucchini, bell pepper, wine, salt, pepper, sugar. Simmer 45 min. In separate pan, melt 1 tablespoon butter. Add flour. Cook roux over very low heat. Whisk in heated cream. Add tomato paste. Whisk until mixture is very smooth. Stir into vegetables along with Parmesan. Toss mixture with cooked pasta. Coniglio alla cascia. 3-pound rabbit with liver, 3 tablespoon olive oil, 2 tablespoon butter. Melted 2-ounce salt pork. Diced 1/3 pound onions. Peeled and diced 2 garlic cloves. Mashed 2 bay leaves. Crumbled 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 6 tablespoon dry red wine, 1 large ripe tomato, or 1/2 cup canned peeled plum tomatoes. Chopped 3/4 cup hot water salt, optional. Cut the rabbit into 6 pieces. Wash and dry the rabbit well. Chop the liver into very small pieces. Combine olive oil, butter, and salt pork in a saucepan. Heat. Add onions and cook to medium brown. Add rabbit pieces and brown for 10 minutes. Add garlic, bay leaves, black pepper, and chopped liver. Stir and cook for 10 minutes. Add wine, stir, cover and cook for 5 minutes. Uncover. Add the tomato and the hot water, stir, and cook slowly for about 1 hour. Test for doneness. Do not overcook. Carefully taste for salt, optional, and if needed, add just a little at this point. When rabbit is cooked, cover and keep warm until serving time. This dish goes well with any pasta. Spoon the sauce over both rabbit and pasta. Cause oreganati. 4 pounds of mussels minus scrubbed and cleaned 1-1/2 cups of bread, crumbs 1 tsp, of oregano 1 tsp, of black pepper 1/2 cup of parsley minus, chopped 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1 cup of crushed tomatoes, 1/2 cup of white wine. Steam open mussels, retain broth. When done, discard top shell. Place mussels in a single layer in a baking dish. Scatter bread crumbs, oregano, and parsley over mussels. Drizzle with oil and bake at 450 degrees for 5 minutes. Mix tomatoes, wine, and mussel broth. Ladle over mussels and bake an additional 10 minutes. A crab ciappino, 2 medium-sized Dungeness crabs, 1-1/2 pounds, each 1 lb. Shrimp in shells, 12 medium-sized fresh clams, 1 lg. Onion, sliced 6 green onions, sliced using part of tops 1 bell pepper, seeded and diced 3 cloves, fresh garlic 1 can, 16 Oz, tomato puree 1 can, 8 Oz, tomato sauce 1/3 cup olive oil, extra virgin 1/3 cup fresh parsley, chopped 1 cup dry red or dry white wine, 2 cups water, 1 bay leaf, 1 tbls, salt 1/4 tsp, pepper 1/8 teaspoon, dried rosemary 1/8 tsp. Time, using a Dutch oven, heavy frying pan, or deep cast iron skillet with cover. Sauté the onion, green pepper, and garlic in olive oil for about 5 minutes over medium-high heat. Add parsley, tomato sauce, tomato puree, water, wine, bay leaf, salt, pepper, rosemary, and thyme. Cover and simmer about 1 hour. Remove garlic. Clean and crack crab. Place in bottom of large pan, at least 8-quart size. Scrub clams under running water to remove sand, and then lay on top of crabs. Cut shrimp down backs, wash out sand and minus vein. Lay on top of crab and clams. Pour hot prepared sauce over top of shellfish. Cover and simmer very gently until clam shells begin to open, 15 to 25 minutes. To serve ciappino, use large soup bowls, adding some of each kind of shell fish. Provide plenty of napkins and sourdough French bread. Creamy champagne risotto, 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, 1 small onion. Finely chopped 2 cups arborio rice, 1/2 bottle champagne, 3 cups hot beef or chicken stocks, 1/2 cup double cream, 5 tablespoon freshly grated Parmesan cheese salt. Melt the butter in a flame-proof casserole. Add the onion and fry for 2 minutes. Stir in the rice and cook for 1 minute. Add half the champagne. Bring to the boil and simmer until is absorbed. Add 1/3 of the stock and simmer until is absorbed. Repeat the process with the champagne and stock until the rice is just tender and creamy. About 15-20 minutes. Warm the cream in a small saucepan. When the rice is cooked, stir in the cream and cheese and season with salt. Serve straight away. Duck scallopine with dried cherries and grappa. 1 magret of duck, double minus sided, approximately 1 lb. 1/2 cup seasoned flour, 4 tablespoon. Virgin olive oil, 1/2 cup dried cherries, 1/2 cup grappa, 1/2 cup dry red wine, 1/2 cup chicken stock, 2 tablespoon. Unsalted butter, 2 bunches chives, snipped into 1-inch pieces. Split duck breast in half, lengthwise, leaving fat on. Slice magret on bias until there are 6 pieces from each breast. Pound each piece to 1/4-inch thick with a meat mallet and dredge in seasoned flour. In a 12- to 14-inch sauté pan, Heat oil until smoking. Add duck pieces and saute until golden-brown, without turning. Add cherries, grappa, wine, stock, and butter and bring to a boil. Reduce by half, 6 to 7 minutes, and flip duck pieces over. Cook 30 more seconds. Sprinkle with chives and serve with braised red cabbage. Eggplant parmigiana. 2 small eggplants. Unpeeled, cut into 1/4-inch rounds 2 eggs. Lightly beaten 1-1/2 cup breadcrumbs, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/8 teaspoon pepper, 1 garlic cloves peeled, and halved 3/4 cup olive oil, 20-ounce tomatoes. Canned 1/3 cup tomato paste, 2 tablespoon minced basil, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/8 teaspoon pepper, 1 cup grated Parmesan cheese, 1/2 pound mozzarella cheese. Thinly sliced. Dip eggplant slices in eggs, then in breadcrumbs seasoned with salt and pepper. Refrigerate 20 minutes. In a large saucepan, saute garlic in 2 tablespoons oil for 1-2 minutes. Remove garlic and add tomatoes, tomato paste, basil, salt, and pepper. Cover and simmer 30 minutes. Preheat oven to 350 F. Brown eggplant in 1/4-inch oil in a large skillet. Drain on paper towels. Put a thin layer of tomato sauce into a baking dish and layer eggplant, sauce, Parmesan, and mozzarella alternately. End with mozzarella on top. Bake uncovered for 30 minutes. Fagioli e gabmari. 1 pound dried white beans. Cannellini, Great Northern or navy beans, 1/3 cup extra virgin olive oil divided 2 large garlic cloves. Peeled and chopped 1 ounce pancetta. Chopped fine 6 large fresh sage leaves. -1 teaspoon dried whole leaf sage salt and black pepper. To taste 1 tomato. Cored/peeled/ chopped fine 1 pound medium shrimp, peeled and deveined. Note: the beans in this recipe will need to be soaked overnight. Put the beans in a non-aluminum container and cover with 5 inches of cold water. Soak overnight and then drain well. Place them with all other ingredients except the salt and shrimp in a pot that will comfortably hold them all. Pour enough cold water over the ingredients to cover them by about 3 inches. Cook gently at a simmer for about 1 hour or more. The liquid in the beans should be mostly absorbed by the time they finish cooking, and the beans should be very moist and succulent. Do not let them go dry. Add the salt to taste. Serve the beans hot, drizzled with olive oil. They are equally good at room temperature. Saute the shrimp in the olive oil with a pinch of salt and pepper for about 2 minutes, stirring often. Do not overcook. Serve the shrimp with warm beans or slightly chilled with room temperature beans. Fennel gratinata, 3 large or 4 to 5 small fennel bulbs, 3 TBS. Butter, salt, black pepper. Freshly ground 1/4 cup Parmigiano Reggiano, freshly grated. Cut the fennel tops where they meet the bulb and discard them. Pare away any bruised or brownish parts from the bolt and cut off a thin slice from the bottom. Cut the bulb in lengthwise slices about 1/4-inch thick and wash by soaking them in cold water. Turn on the oven and set at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Bring to a boil a pot of water large enough to comfortably accommodate the fennel slices. Place the fennel in the boiling water and cook until tender, about 5-10 minutes. Drain or lift the fennel out of the water carefully so as not to break the slices. Some will inevitably break, but you can still use them. In 1 or more shallow baking dishes or sheet pans, place the fennel in a single layer. Season with salt and pepper. Sprinkle with the Parmesan cheese and dot with butter. Place in the preheated oven and bake until golden brown, about 10-15 minutes. Remove from the oven and serve at once. Fettuccine alla Genovese. 1-1/2 cups heavy cream, 4 cups spinach leaves. rinsed well, drained, and cut into 1/2-inch wide strips 1/2 cup golden or dark raisins, plumped in warm water and drained 1 teaspoon. Or to taste, grated lemon zest covered with 2 teaspoons fresh lemon juice 1/2 cup pine nuts, toasted salt, and freshly ground pepper 6 to 8 ounces fresh fettuccine. Heat a large pot of salted water to boiling for the pasta. Heat the cream in a large skillet over medium heat to simmering. Add the spinach and cook, stirring constantly until just beginning to wilt. Stir in the raisins, lemon zest and juice, a few of the pine nuts, and salt and pepper to taste. Cook, stirring constantly until slightly thickened. Be careful the sauce doesn't reduce too much. Meanwhile, add the pasta to the boiling water and cook until tender, about 2 minutes if the pasta is thin. Drain the pasta and transfer to a pasta bowl. Add the sauce and quickly toss to combine. Top with the remaining pine nuts. Serve hot. Fettuccine with cream, basil, and cheese. 4 bacon slices, chopped thick 4 green onions, chopped 1 cup whipping cream 1/2 cup Parmesan, freshly grated 1/2 cup Romano, freshly grated 1/3 cup basil, chopped fresh 1/2 pound fettuccine salt and freshly ground pep Parmesan, freshly grated Romano, freshly grated. Cook bacon in heavy medium skillet over medium heat until beginning to brown. Add green onions and stir until softened, about 1 minute. Add cream and simmer until beginning to thicken, about 1 minute. Mix in 1/2 cup Romano cheese, 1/2 cup Parmesan, and chopped fresh basil. Meanwhile, cook fettuccine in large pot of boiling, salted water until just tender but still firm to bite, stirring occasionally. Drain well. Return to hot pot. Add sauce and stir to coat. Season with salt and pepper. Serve immediately, passing additional cheese separately. Fettuccine Romano alla Fratelli. 1 tablespoon olive oil 3 cloves garlic. Crushed 1/2 cup white wine 3/4 cup half minus and minus half 1 cup Romano cheese. Grated 1 pound dry spinach fettuccine, cooked chopped parsley for garnish. Add the olive oil to a hot 10 pan. Add the garlic and saute over high heat for about 1 minute. Add the wine and simmer for about 2 minutes. Add the half minus and minus half and allow the sauce to come back to the simmer. Add the Romano cheese and stir until smooth, about 2 minutes. To serve, add the pasta to the pan and toss until coated. Portion onto 2 plates and garnish with some chopped parsley. Focaccia Florentine. 3 tablespoon olive oil 2-10 ounce pkg. Frozen chopped spinach. Thawed/squeezed dry 3 ounces Canadian bacon. Diced 1/4 teaspoon salt 3 cup, all-purpose flour 1 env quick minus rise yeast 1 cup water 1-1/2 cup shredded fontina cheese. Heat 2 tablespoons oil in skillet. Add spinach, bacon, and 1/4 tsp salt. Saute until softened, 5 minutes. Remove from heat. Combine 1 cup flour, yeast, and remaining salt in bowl. Heat water and remaining oil in saucepan until very warm, 125-130 degrees. Gradually, beat water mixture into flour mixture. Beat in 1/2 cups flour with wooden spoon, 1/2 cup at a time, to make soft dough. Knead dough on floured surface until smooth and elastic, 10 minutes, working in remaining flour as needed to prevent sticking. Shape into ball. Cover, let rest 10 minutes. Roll dough out on floured surface into 15x 11- rectangle. Fit in greased 15x 11x 1- jelly roll pan, gently pushing dough up into corners. With fingers, make indentations all over surface of dough, pressing almost to bottom of pan. Scatter spinach over top, sprinkle with cheese. Cover with plastic. Let rise in warm place until almost doubled in bulk, 30 minutes. Bake in 400 oven for 20 to 25 minutes until lightly browned. Cut into 12 pieces. Serve warm. Focaccia versalis, 2 teaspoon dried yeast, 1 cup warm water, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 1 tablespoon rosemary, chopped 4 sage leaves, torn 3 1/2 ounce olives, pitted 2 tablespoon garlic, minced 2 cup unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 cup corn flour, 2 teaspoons salt, 2 teaspoon olive oil. Stir the yeast into a olje mixing bowl with the water and let proof for 10 minutes. Stir in the olive oil, rosemary, sage, olives, and garlic. Using a wooden spoon, mix in the flours and salt and stir until the dough is thick and smooth. Knead by hand for 8 to 10 minutes until the dough is firm and elastic. Set the dough in a lightly oiled container. Cover with plastic wrap and let rise until doubled. Turn the dough onto an oiled 10-1/2 x 15-1/2 baking pan and stretch it to fit. If it won't fit, let it rest for 10 minutes and try again. Cover with a towel and leave until it has half risen, about 30 minutes. 30 minutes before baking, preheat oven to 400 F. Just before baking, dimple the top of the dough with your fingertips and sprinkle with some extra salt and 2 ts of oil. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes until golden. Slide off baking sheet onto a rack and let cool for a few minutes before eating warm or at room temperature. Variation, Focaccia dolce. Substitute 2 Oz raisins and 1 Oz pine nuts for the olives, herbs, and garlic. Soak the raisins in warm water for 30 minutes before using and toast the pine nuts. Frittata di zucchine. 4 tablespoons olive oil, 1 large onion, coarsely chopped 1 teaspoon fresh thyme, chopped, or 1/2 tsb. Dry 1-1/2 pounds zucchini, 2 tablespoons Italian parsley or fresh basil. Chopped 5 large eggs, 1/2 teaspoons salt, freshly milled black pepper, 1/2 cup Parmigiano, freshly grated. Preheat a broiler. In a small skillet over medium heat, warm 2 tablespoons of the olive oil. Add the onion and the dried thyme, if using, and saute until the onion wilts, about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, cut off the stems and navels from the zucchini, cut them in half lengthwise, and then cut them crosswise into thin slices. Add the zucchini, cover, and cook over medium heat, stirring a few times, until tender but not mushy, 10 to 12 minutes. Just before the zucchini slices are done, add the fresh thyme, if using, and the basil or parsley. Place the mixture in a colander to cool and to allow excess water to drain out, about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in a bowl, beat the eggs lightly with a fork. Beat in the salt, pepper to taste, and cheese. Add the drained cooled zucchini and onion. Pour the remaining 2 tablespoons olive oil in a flame-proof 12-inch skillet or omelet pan and place over medium heat. When it is hot enough to make the eggs sizzle, pour in the egg mixture, using a fork or spoon to distribute the zucchini evenly. Immediately reduce the heat to low and cook the frittata gently until it is set, 12 to 15 minutes. Take care not to overcook the eggs, or they will lose their delicacy. Top finish cooking. Slide the pan under the preheated broiler 6 inches from the heat until the top is golden, 0 to 2 minutes. Using a spatula to loosen the edges from the pan, slide the frittata out onto a serving plate. Serve warm or cold, cut into wedges. Frittelle de Corleone. 1/4 cup raisins, golden 1/2 cup marsala, or 1/2 cup sherry 1 cup flour. All-purpose 1 pinch salt, 2 large egg yolks, 1/2 cup milk oil, vegetable sugar, powdered. Soak the raisins in marsala for 30 minutes. Drain the raisins, reserving the wine. Put the flour and salt into a mixing bowl, stirring very gently with a wooden spoon. Gradually blend in the wine until smooth. Stir in the egg yolks and just enough milk to bring the batter to the consistency of a thick cream sauce. In a large skillet, heat 1 inch of oil to 375 F. Using about 3 tablespoons for each fritter, spoon batter into the oil. Do not crowd. Fry the batter until golden, turning once 4 to 5 minutes. Drain on paper towels. Repeat with remaining batter. Dust with powdered sugar and serve hot. Fungi al olio y limon. 2 TBS olive oil. 1 lb. White baby mushrooms. Stems sliced off even with the base of the head. 2-3 cloves garlic. Peeled and finely chopped. Juice of 1/2 lemon. Salt and freshly ground black pepper. 2 TBS. Flat-leaved Italian parsley. Finely chopped. 2-4 TBS. Extra virgin olive oil. Heat the olive oil in a large sauté pan over high heat. Then add the mushrooms. Sauté, shaking the pan vigorously from time to time, for about 5 minutes, until the mushrooms begin to exude some of their natural juices. Lower the heat to medium. Add the garlic and sauté for a couple of more minutes, being careful that the garlic doesn't burn. Squeeze the lemon juice over the mushrooms. Taste for seasoning and add salt and pepper to your taste. Remove from the heat. Pour into a glass or ceramic container and stir in the chopped parsley. Add enough additional olive oil to coat the mushrooms evenly. Serve at room temperature as part of an antipasto. Fusilli chicken. 1-1/2 pounds chicken breast. 1/3 cup olive oil. 1/4 cup butter. 2 tablespoon butter. 2 onions, finely chopped, or 2 shallots. 1 stem of fresh fennel. 2 whole garlics, minus crushed. 1 cup white wine. 1/3/4 cup chicken stock. 1/2 cup heavy cream. 1 lb. Fresh peas minus cooked fresh parsley minus chopped red pepper flakes. 1 lb. Fusilli. Heat 2 tablespoons. Sweet butter in a small saucepan and cook the onions, stirring until light brown. Set aside. Heat the olive oil in a large skillet. Dredge the pieces of chicken in flour and salt and pepper. Cook until brown. Pour the oil and fat from the skillet. Add the butter and garlic to the chicken. Add the onion and blend. Add the wine and cook about 1 minute. Add the chicken broth. Bring to a boil and cover. Let cook, covered over high heat, for about 15 minutes. Before serving, add peas and heavy cream. Cook fusilli until barely tender. Pour chicken and peas over fusilli. Garnish with hot red pepper flakes and plenty of chopped parsley. Gnocchi alla Giordano. 2 pounds baking potatoes. 1 cup all-purpose flour. 1 whole egg plus 1 egg yolk. Lightly beaten 2 tablespoons unsalted butter. Softened 1 teaspoon salt. Freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Tomato sauce. Boil the potatoes in their jackets. Drain, peel, and put through a ricer or food mill. While the potatoes are still warm, blend in the flour. Add the egg yolk, butter, and salt. Place the potato mixture on a floured board and knead lightly. The dough will be soft. Roll the dough in 1 thick sticks about 10 long. Cut each roll into 3/4 pieces. Rub each pieces of dough lightly over the coarse side of a cheese grater. In a large pot of boiling salted water, cook the gnocchi until they rise to the top of the water. Using a slotted spoon, remove the gnocchi to a warm bowl. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese, top with tomato sauce, and serve at once. Gubana. 1 recipe strudel pastry. 1 cup walnuts. Chopped roughly 1/2 cup hazelnuts. Chopped roughly zest of 1 lemon, zest of 1 orange. 1/4 cup candied citron. 1/4 cup semi-sweet chocolate pieces. Roughly chopped 1/4 cup currants. Soaked 1 hour in 1/2 cup Verduzzo wine, 2 eggs, separated yolks beaten, until stiff 1/4 cup sugar, plus 3 TBLS. Preheat oven to 375 degrees and grease a cookie sheet. In a large mixing bowl, combine walnuts, hazelnuts, lemon zest, orange zest, candied citron, chocolate pieces, currants, soaking liquid and stir to combine. Add egg whites and 1/4 cup sugar and fold together. Roll pastry out to a 10 by 16-inch rectangle and position the longest side parallel to the work surface edge. Spoon the filling over the pastry evenly, leaving 2 inches uncovered at the north end. Roll the pastry up like a jelly roll from south to north, so it appears to be a thick pipe. Make a circle of the pipe by attaching the 2 open ends like a wreath. Brush with beaten eggs yolks and sprinkle with remaining sugar. Place on cookie sheet and bake 50 minutes. Allow to cool before cutting. Insalata capre. 4 large fresh tomatoes, sliced 1/4-inch thick 16 ounces fresh mozzarella cheese, sliced 1/4-inch thick 1/3 cup packed whole leaf fresh basil, 4 tablespoons, extra virgin olive oil, fine sea salt to taste, freshly ground black pepper to taste, 1/4 cup imported olives. On a large platter, arrange tomato and mozzarella slices and basil leaves, alternating and overlapping each. Drizzle salad with olive oil. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Garnish with imported olives. Italian cookies. 3 eggs, 1/2 cup orange, juice 1 cup, sugar 1 cup, oil 1 teaspoon, salt 1 tsp. Vanilla extract 3/4 cups, flour 2 tablespoons. Baking powder, almonds chopped, optional. In a large bowl, beat eggs, orange juice and sugar. Add oil, mix well. Add salt, flour and baking powder. Mix with a wooden spoon. Add vanilla extract and chopped almonds. Shape dough into 2 half-moon logs and place on an ungreased cookie sheet. Bake at 350 degrees F until golden, about 15 minutes. Remove from oven and let cool for a while. Cut cookies 1/2-inch thick and cook at 450 degrees F until golden on both sides. Italian pepper sausage. 4 1/2 pound fresh lean pork, 1-1/2 pound fresh pork fat, fresh porks, 1 med. Onion, chopped 1 large clove garlic. Minced 3 teaspoons salt, 1-1/2 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, 1-1/2 teaspoon paprika, 2 teaspoon crushed dried red peppers, 2 teaspoon fennel seeds, 1/2 teaspoon crushed bay leaf, 1/4 teaspoon thyme, 1/3 cup red wine or water pinch of coriander, 2. 5-yard sausage casing. Grind the lean and fat pork, onion and garlic. Add the seasonings and mix thoroughly. Add the wine and mix well. Force through a sausage stuffer into casing, or use in recipes that call for ground sausage out of casings. Make 6 5lb Italian tomato sauce. 2-28-ounce cans diced or ground tomatoes or whole tomatoes not packed in puree or sauce, 3 tablespoons high-quality olive oil, 1 large, thick pork chop, or 1-1/2 pounds beef chuck. Steak preferred, 1 medium onion, peeled and finely chopped 1 medium carrot, peeled and finely chopped 4 garlic cloves, peeled and crushed 1/2 cup red wine, 1-1/2 teaspoons salt, 3 tablespoons fresh basil or Italian parsley, chopped freshly ground black pepper to taste. If using whole tomatoes, drain them, reserving the liquid and chop. Reserve tomatoes and juice in a bowl. In a non-reactive Dutch oven, heat the olive oil. Season the chop with salt and pepper and brown over medium-high heat on both sides, about 8 minutes total. Remove meat and set aside. Reduce heat to medium-low Add the onion and carrot and saute until softened, 8 to 10 minutes. Add the garlic and saute for 1 minute. Return the meat and any accumulated juices to the pot and add the wine. Bring to a simmer and cook uncovered for 3 minutes. Add the reserved tomatoes. If using crushed or minced tomatoes, just add them directly from the can and the salt and bring back to a simmer. Reduce heat to low to maintain a slow simmer, partially cover, and cook until the meat is tender. About 45 to 55 minutes, depending on the thickness of the meat. Remove meat and keep warm. Raise heat to medium and continue cooking sauce for about 5 minutes, or until sauce has thickened. Stir in the basil and slash or parsley, and add freshly ground black pepper to taste. The sauce will be salty at this point. It will taste fine once added to pasta. Slice the meat and serve with pasta and sauce. Lasagna with prosciutto. 8 Oz. Italian prosciutto, chopped 8 Oz. Lasagna pasta noodles, cooked 16 Oz. Can whole peeled tomatoes. Chopped 1 cup ricotta cheese, 1 cup grated Parmesan cheese, 1 lb. Mozzarella cheese, sliced thin 1 medium onion, chopped 1 lb. Lean ground beef, 4 TBS. Fresh basil, chopped 4 cloves garlic, chopped or minced 1 slash 4 TSB. Oregano ground black pepper, 1/2 cup dry white wine, 2 TBS. Olive oil, fresh basil sprigs for garnish. 1. Cook lasagna noodles according to package directions, or until tender but still firm. Drain, keep warm. 2. To make the lasagna sauce, in a large saucepan or cast iron skillet, over medium-high heat, saute the garlic, onion, and prosciutto in the olive oil for 4 minutes. Add the lean beef, oregano, a touch of black pepper, and saute 10 minutes. Add the wine and cook until the wine is almost evaporated. Add tomatoes and basil. Reduce heat and simmer sauce 35 to 40 minutes, or until most of the liquid has evaporated. 3. Grease a 9x12 or larger baking pan. Arrange a first layer of lasagna noodles, a layer of the beef and prosciutto tomato sauce, ricotta cheese, Parmesan, and mozzarella cheese. Add a second alternating layer of noodles, sauce, and other ingredients. Repeat until pan is full, ending up with a top layer of sauce. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese and bake in a pre-heated oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Garnish with fresh basil tip. When layering the pasta, place bottom layer in pan so the ends lay over the sides of the pan. For the final layer, lay the ends from the first layer back minus over the top. Manicotti, 1 lb. Ricotta cheese, 1/2 pounds. Mozzarella cheese, grated. Divided 1/4 cup Romano cheese. Grated salt and pepper, 1/4 cup provolone cheese. Grated parsley, chopped. 3 eggs, 2-3 cups tomato sauce. Combine all ingredients together, except tomato sauce. Mix well. Use 1 lb. Mozzarella cheese. Spread some tomato sauce on the bottom of a baking pan. Stuff manicotti shells and place in pan. Spread more tomato sauce in between each layer and on the top, followed by 1/2 lb. of just mozzarella cheese. Bake at 350 degrees F for 3/4 hours. Then, broil for 2-3 minutes to brown top. Manzo brasato, 1/2 lb. Boneless chuck roast, rolled and tied 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley, roughly chopped 2 celery stalks, washed and roughly chopped 1 med. Carrot, peeled and roughly chopped 1 med. Yellow onion, peeled and roughly chopped 4 cloves garlic. Peeled 3-4 cups dry red wine, 2-4 TBS. Olive oil, 2 TBS. Tomato paste, dissolved in several TBS. Red wine, salt, and freshly ground black pepper, 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley, finely chopped. Place the beef in a bowl or pot large enough to hold it without crowding. Add the parsley, celery, carrot, onion, and garlic. Pour in enough wine to nearly cover the beef. Cover and allow to marinate for 8 hours at room temperature or overnight in the refrigerator. At cooking time, remove the beef from the marinade, shaking and scraping off any vegetables that have clung, and pat it dry with paper towels. Reserve the marinade. Heat a large pot over medium-high heat. When the pot is well heated, add enough olive oil to cover the bottom, then add the beef, taking care to avoid spattering. Brown the beef all over including the ends lowering the heat, if necessary, as the beef begins to render its own fat. When the beef is well browned, pour in the marinade, raise the heat to high, and boil for 2 or 3 minutes to evaporate the alcohol from the wine. Lower the heat to medium-low or even low, depending on your stove. Partially cover the pot. Then allow the beef and braising liquid to just barely bubble for 2 to 3 hours. The beef should be nearly falling apart when done. At the end of the cooking time, remove the beef to a platter and cover with aluminum foil while you make the sauce. Raise the heat to medium-high and add the tomato paste dissolved in wine. Stir to combine well with the braising liquid and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. Pour the contents of the pot into a blender or food processor and puree for about 1 minute. Pour the sauce into a gravy boat or any other serving piece. Taste for salt and pepper and add to your taste. To serve family style, carve the beef into slices about 3/4 in, thick and cover with several tablespoons of sauce. Surround the beef with vegetables and potatoes and pass the platter, and the sauce at the table. Otherwise, carve the beef on a cutting board and serve 2 slices per person, along with whatever else you've prepared for dinner. Garnish with the chopped parsley, and again, pass the sauce separately at the table. Marinara sauce: 2 cans of Italian plum, tomatoes, 2 small cans of sauce, 1/4 cup olive oil, 1 medium onion chopped 3 garlic cloves crushed 1/4 cup fresh basil, 1 tbl. Parsley, salt, and pepper. Heat olive oil in saucepan add garlic and chopped onion and saute until onions are translucent. Add tomatoes, tomato sauce, basil, parsley, and salt and pepper, and cook slowly for 45 minutes to an hour. Meatballs, polpette alla casalinga: 2 slices Italian bread, torn into small pieces, 1/2 cup milk, 2 tblsp. Finely chopped fresh Italian parsley, 2 cloves, finely chopped garlic, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 egg lightly beaten, 1 pound beef chuck. Ground twice, 6 tblsp. Freshly grated Romano cheese, 1 tblsp. Olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon garlic, salt, freshly ground black pepper, 1 tblsp. Oregano. Soak the pieces of bread in 1/2 cup milk for 5 minutes. Then squeeze them dry and discard the milk. In a large mixing bowl, combine the soaked bread, then beaten egg, beef, and sausage with the remaining ingredients. Knead the mixture vigorously with both hands or beat with a wooden spoon until all ingredients are well blended and the mixture is smooth and fluffy. Shape the mixture into small balls about 1/2 inches in diameter. Lay the meatballs out in 1 layer on a flat tray or baking sheet. Cover them with plastic wrap and chill for at least 1 hour. Heat 1/4 cup of olive or vegetable oil in a heated, heavy 10-12-inch skillet until a light haze forms over it. Fry the meatballs 5 or 6 at a time over a moderately high heat, shaking the pan constantly to roll the balls and keep them round. In 8-10 minutes, the meatballs should be brown outside and show no trace of pink inside. Add more oil to the skillet as needed. Serve the meatballs hot with tomato sauce. Minestrone. 1 medium carrot, peeled and chopped roughly 1 celery stalk, chopped roughly 1 medium onion, peeled and chopped roughly 2 cloves garlic, peeled 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley 2-4 fresh sage leaves olive oil 2 quarts water 1 celery stalk. Finely diced 1 medium carrot, quartered lengthwise and diced 1 medium onion, peeled and thinly sliced lengthwise 3 medium all-purpose potatoes, peeled and diced 1 slash for head of broccoli, cut into small florets rind from a piece of Parmigiano, if available, 1 small zucchini, quartered lengthwise and diced 1 small yellow squash, quartered lengthwise and diced 1 cup peas approx. 4 Oz. Green beans, cut into 1-inch lengths approx. 4 Oz. Yellow beans, cut into 1-inch lengths 1/2 lb. Spinach, washed and stems removed 1/19 Oz. Can red kidney beans, washed and drained 1/19 Oz. Can cannellini beans, washed and drained 1/19 Oz. Can chickpeas, washed and drained salt and freshly ground black pepper to taste 1 cup tubettini, orzo, or small shell pasta, freshly grated Parmigiano. Put the carrot, celery, onion, garlic, parsley, and sage in the food processor and pulse about 10 times for 1 second each pulse. Heat a large soup pot over medium heat, then pour in enough olive oil to cover the bottom. At the same time, start another large pot filled with 6 or more quarts of water on high heat. For the pasta, pour the chopped vegetables into the pot and sauté them for approximately 10 minutes, or until they are thoroughly wilted and slightly golden in color. Add the water, stirring and scraping any bits of vegetables that have caramelized and stuck to the bottom of the pan. Add the celery, carrot, onion, potatoes, broccoli, and if you have one, add the rind from the Parmigiano. Bring the pot to the simmer and cook gently, stirring occasionally for 10 minutes. Add the zucchini, yellow squash, peas, green and yellow beans, and continue cooking at the simmer for another 10 minutes. When you've added the vegetables above, start the pasta. Cook until it's al dente, drain and reserve. Add the canned beans to the soup and simmer for 2 or 3 minutes, just to heat them. Taste the soup for salt and pepper and add to your taste at this time. Spoon a bit of pasta into a bowl, then ladle a good portion of the soup over the pasta. Garnish with the freshly grated Parmigiano, most especially with fennel, mint, and breadcrumbs. 6 tablespoons virgin olive oil, 2 cloves, garlic, 2 fennel bulbs, 1-1/2 cups toasted breadcrumbs, divided 1 tablespoon. Crushed red pepper, flakes 1 cup loosely minus, packed fresh mint leaves 3 to 4 tablespoon. Extra minus virgin olive oil, 1 pkg. Most especially. Bring 6 quarts water to boil and add 2 tablespoons salt. Remove tops from the fennel and save. Cut fennel into 1/4-inch bâtonnet. In a 12-inch to 14-inch sauté pan, heat olive oil until smoking. Add garlic and fennel and cook, stirring frequently until light golden brown and quite soft, about 10 minutes. Add 1 cup bread crumbs and crushed red pepper flakes and continue cooking 4 to 5 minutes. Cook pasta according to package instructions until just al dente and drain well. Pour hot pasta into pan, add mint and toss to mix well. Pour into warm serving dish. Sprinkle with remaining breadcrumbs and reserved fennel tops. Drizzle with extra minus virgin olive oil and serve. Osso buco, 8 large veal shanks. Patted dry salt and pepper. To taste flour 7 teaspoon unsalted butter 3 teaspoon olive oil 1-1/2 cup dry white wine 1-1/2 cup onion, finely chopped 3/4 cup carrots, finely chopped 3/4 cup celery, finely chopped 1 teaspoon garlic, Minced 4 cup beef broth 1-1/2 cup plum tomatoes. Chopped bouquet garni 1/2 teaspoons salt gremolata. 1/2 cup fresh parsley. Minced 2 teaspoon lemon zest 1 teaspoon garlic, minced. Season the veal shanks with salt and pepper and dredge in the flour, shaking off excess. In a heavy skillet, heat 3 tablespoon butter and 3 tablespoon oil over mod-high heat. Brown the veal shanks, adding additional butter and oil if necessary. Transfer the shanks as they are browned to a platter. Add wine to the skillet, boil the mixture, deglazing the pan, until the liquid is reduced to about a half cup. Reserve in a small bowl. In a flame-proof casserole just large enough to hold the veal shanks in one layer, cook the onion, carrots, celery, and garlic in the remaining 4 tablespoon butter over mod-low heat, stirring occasionally until the veggies are softened. Add the shanks and any accumulated juices to the casserole. Add the wine mixture and enough broth to almost cover the shanks. Spread the tomatoes over the shanks. Add the bouquet garni. 6 fresh parsley sprigs, 4 fresh thyme sprigs, 1 bay leaf, and salt and pepper to taste. Bring the liquid to a simmer over moderately high heat. Braise the mixture, covered, in the middle of a preheated 325 F oven for 2 hours, or until the veal is tender. Transfer the veal to an oven-proof serving dish with a slotted spoon. Discard the strings and keep the shanks warm. Strain pan juices into a saucepan, pressing hard on the solids. Skim off the fat. Boil for about 15 minutes, or until reduced to about 3 cups. Baste the shanks in some of the reduced juices and bake them, basting 3-4 more times, for 10 minutes or until the shanks are glazed. In a bowl, stir together the parsley, zest, and garlic. Sprinkle the shanks with the gremolata and pour some juice around and over them. Serve the remaining juices alongside in a boat. Panettone, 1 cup flour plus 2 TBLS, 1/8 teaspoons salt, 1 package yeast. Dry fast minus rising 2 TB, water, lukewarm 3 tablespoon sugar, divided 2 eggs, 8 teaspoon margarine, 1/2 teaspoon orange peel, grated 1/2 teaspoon brandy extract, 3 ounce mixed dried fruit, coarsely chopped. Sift together flour and salt onto sheet of wax paper. Set aside. In small bowl, sprinkle yeast over water. Add 1 teaspoon sugar and stir to dissolve. Let stand until foamy, about 5 minutes. In mixing bowl, using electric mixer at medium speed, beat eggs with remaining sugar until frothy. Add margarine and beat until well combined. Continue to beat while adding orange peel and brandy extract. Add yeast mixture, then gradually beat in sifted flour. Beat at high speed for 5 minutes. Add dried fruit, beating until thoroughly combined. Cover bowl with clean damp towel or plastic wrap and let stand in warm draft -free area until dough is doubled in volume. About 30 minutes. Preheat oven to 400. Spray 3- cup fluted mold with nonstick cooking spray. Punch dough down, then turn into prepared mold. Bake in middle of center oven rack for 10 minutes. Reduce oven temperature to 325 and bake until top is browned and cake begins to pull away from mold. About 30 minutes longer. Cover with foil if panettone is browning too quickly. Unmold onto wire rack and let cool. Panzanella, 4-3/4. Slices stale Italian bread, 1 clove garlic. Peeled and halved 4 vine-ripened tomatoes, cut into 1. Chunks 1 large Bermuda onion. Peeled and thinly sliced 1 medium cucumber. Peeled and sliced into 1/4. Rounds 2-4 TBS. Red wine vinegar, 4 TBS. Extra virgin olive oil, salt, and freshly ground black pepper, 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley, finely chopped 2 TBS. Fresh tarragon, finely chopped. Crumble the bread into rough chunks and place in a bowl with 3 or 4 cups of cold water for about 5 minutes. While the bread is soaking, rub the inside of the salad bowl with the exposed portions of the garlic. 1 fistful at a time, squeeze out as much water as you can from the bread and add it to the salad bowl. Break up the bread with a fork. Then add the tomatoes, Bermuda onion, cucumber, red wine vinegar, olive oil, and toss to coat all the ingredients. Taste for salt and pepper and add them to your taste. Add the parsley and optional tarragon. Divide among 4 plates and serve immediately. If you prefer, you can refrigerate the panzanella for about 1/2 hour before serving. If you plan to do this, though, don't add salt because the salt will leach moisture from the tomatoes. Pasta al forno, 2 pounds. Rigatoni 1/4 cup pancetta, very thinly sliced. If you can't find pancetta, use regular bacon, 2-1/2 pounds. Italian sausage, casing removed, hot or sweet, your preference, 1 onion, chopped 1 carrot, chopped 8-ounce mixed mushrooms, sliced variety your preference, 3 tablespoons. Julienne basil, 3 tablespoons. Chopped parsley, 3 pounds. Ricotta 1/2 cup heavy cream, 1 cup chicken stock, 2 cups grated provolone cheese, 1-1/2 cups crumbled gorgonzola cheese, or blue cheese, 1/28 can Italian plum tomatoes, drained and chopped 1-1/2 cups grated pecorino romano cheese, or Parmesan. Cook pasta in a large pot of boiling, salted water until only halfway cooked, according to package directions. Drain and rinse under cold water to stop cooking. Toss with a minimal amount of olive oil to prevent sticking. Cook pancetta or bacon in large skillet over medium heat until well browned and crisp, stirring occasionally about 10 minutes. Drain on a paper towel. Add sausage to drippings in skillet and cook, breaking up large pieces until well browned. Transfer to paper towel. Pour off all but 3 tablespoons. Drippings from skillet. Add onion, carrot, mushrooms, basil, and parsley. Cook until onion is tender and mushrooms are golden brown. Season with salt and pepper and set aside. Preheat oven to 400 F. Spray a large baking pan well with cooking spray. Place ricotta in a large bowl. Gradually whisk in cream. Stir in stock. Add pasta, pancetta, sausage, onion mixture, provolone, gorgonzola, tomatoes, and 1 cup romano. Season with salt and pepper and stir well. Transfer to prepared dish. Sprinkle with remaining romano. Cover and bake 35 minutes. Remove cover and bake an additional 20 minutes, or until very golden brown and bubbly. Pasta alla Caruso, 2 TBS. Olive oil 1 cup flour. Seasoned with a pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper 1 lb. Chicken livers, separated into individual lobes, all visible fat removed 2 TBS. Unsalted butter 1 lb. Assorted mushrooms, shiitake, stems removed. Portobello, cremini, white button, sliced thinly 1 cup dry red wine 128 Oz. Can, peeled tomatoes 2 TBS. Flat minus leafed Italian parsley. Finely chopped salt and freshly ground black pepper 1 lb. Spaghetti or persciatelli. Heat a sauté pan over high heat, then add the olive oil. Flour the chicken livers, shaking off any excess and add to the pan. Sauté until they are slightly browned and firm. Remove livers and set aside. Pour off the olive oil, then add the 2 tablespoons of butter. When the butter has foamed and the foam begins to subside, add the mushrooms, tossing to coat with the butter. Cook for 4 or 5 minutes until the mushrooms begin to give off some of their juices. Add the wine all at once, scraping the bottom of the pan to loosen any caramelized bits of liver and mushroom from the bottom. Continue cooking over high heat until the wine has reduced by about half. Lower the heat, puree the tomatoes through a food mill or in a food processor. Then add to the mushrooms and wine. Adjust the heat so the mixture barely simmers. Slice the chicken livers crosswise into 1/2 inch rounds and add them, with any of their accumulated juices, to the tomato sauce. Taste for seasoning, add salt and pepper if necessary, then cook over low heat for about 30 minutes or until the extraneous juices have evaporated. In the meantime, bring a large pot with about 6 quarts of water to a boil. Add the pasta and cook until al dente. Drain the pasta, divide into 4 plates, top with the sauce, garnish with the chopped parsley. Pasta assiere, 1 pound fettuccine, tagliatelle or trenette pasta noodles, 3/4 cup virgin olive oil, 12 cloves fresh garlic, 1 medium white onion, 6 medium Idaho potatoes, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, 1 cube butter or margarine, 1 pound fresh string beans, 1-1/2 cups grated Parmesan cheese. Good quality. Peel potatoes and cube. Cut to 3/4 to 1 inch pieces. Boil potatoes in salted water till tender. Do not cook. Meanwhile, steam string beans till tender but still crisp and set aside with potatoes. In a heavy skillet or cast iron frying pan, heat oil and add halved cloves of garlic and finely chopped onion. Sauté till golden crisp. Meanwhile, cook pasta noodles in salted water with 1 tablespoon olive oil. Cook al dente, drain pasta, add potatoes, string beans, and toss gently. Add butter to heated garlic and onion sauce to melt. Pour sauce over pasta mixture. Add pepper, Parmesan cheese, and work through very gently. Serve with extra Parmesan cheese and French bread. Options: to add a pesto flavor, sprinkle with 1/4 cup finely chopped fresh basil and toss gently to coat. Pasta con limone e pignoli, 1/4 pound angel's hair pasta, or capellini, 3/4 teaspoon, minced garlic 2 tablespoons, olive oil 2 tablespoons, pine nuts, toasted golden 2 tablespoons, fresh lemon, juice 1-1/2 teaspoons, freshly grated lemon, zest 1/4 cup, minced flat leafed parsley leaves. Bring a large saucepan of salted water to a boil for pasta. In a small saucepan, cook garlic in oil over moderately low heat, stirring until softened, and transfer mixture to a large bowl. Add pine nuts, crushing them lightly with the back of a fork, lemon juice, zest, parsley, and salt and pepper to taste. Cook pasta in boiling water until al dente, and reserving 2 tablespoons of the cooking water, drain well. Add pasta with the reserved cooking water to bowl and toss with lemon mixture until it is absorbed. Serve pasta warm or at room temperature. Pasta dough: 8 eggs, 2 tsp. Salt 4 cups all-purpose flour. In a large bowl, combine eggs and salt. Beat well. Add flour, 1 cup at a time, until dough sticks together but is still soft. Spread flour on a board. Knead dough for 15-20 minutes. Cover and let stand in a warm place for about 1 hour. Knead for another 5 minutes. Flatten small amounts of dough to form a 2x2 square. Coat square in flour and repeatedly run through pasta machine until desired thickness is obtained, or use rolling pin. Cut paste shape using pasta machine or slice desired shape by hand. Lay out cut pasta on table, covered with a tablecloth until dry. Pack in plastic bags and store in a cool place. Cook pasta in boiling, salted water until tender. Homemade pasta usually takes less time to cook. Top with your favorite sauce. Pasta e fagioli: 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil, 6 cloves garlic, minced 1 can, 6 ounces, tomato paste 2 cans, 15 ounces each, cannellini beans. Undrained 2 teaspoons dry basil leaves, 3-4 cups boiling water. Divided usage 2 cups beef broth, 1/3 cup dry red wine, 12 ounces ditalini, elbow macaroni, or any short tubular pasta, salt and pepper to taste, Parmesan cheese. Freshly grated chopped fresh basil leaves, optional. 1. Place olive oil and garlic in a large saucepot, 6 quart. Cook over medium heat just until golden. Add tomato paste and cook 3-4 minutes, stirring occasionally. 2. Puree 1 can of beans in food processor or blender. Add to saucepot with remaining beans. Cook 2 minutes, stir in basil. Add 2 cups boiling water, broth, wine, salt, and pepper. Increase heat and bring to a boil, stirring occasionally, about 5 minutes. Add pasta. Cook about 8 minutes or until al dente, adding remaining hot water, if needed, and stirring occasionally. 3. Serve hot, topped with Parmesan and fresh basil, if desired. Pasta fagioli. 1 can whole tomatoes, 32 Oz. 1/4 cup olive oil, 2 cloves garlic, chopped. 3 tablespoon dried oregano, 3 tablespoon dried parsley, salt to taste, 2 cups elbow pasta, cooked. 1/2 can white kidney beans. Puree tomatoes, place in a saucepan. Add olive oil, garlic, and spices. Bring to a boil. Cover and simmer for 10 minutes. Uncover and simmer for another 10 minutes. Pour sauce over cooked pasta and add beans. Mix, warm, and serve. Pasta with wild mushrooms, 1 Oz. 2 small packages. Dried porcini mushrooms, 1/2 cup dry white wine, 4 Oz. Pancetta, finely diced, 2 TBS. Unsalted butter, 2 lb. Assorted mushrooms, portobello, cremini, common white, etc. Thinly sliced 2 shallots, peeled and finely diced 4 sprigs fresh thyme, leaves only, salt and freshly ground black pepper, 1/2 cup heavy cream, 1 lb. Long pasta, spaghetti, linguine, etc. 4 TBS. Flat leaf Italian parsley, finely chopped. Combine the dried porcini and the wine in a cup or small bowl and soak for 30 minutes. Fill a large pot with 4 to 6 quarts of water and bring to a boil. Heat a large sauté pan to medium-high and add the diced pancetta. Sauté until it renders some fat and becomes slightly crisp. Lower the heat if it seems too high. Add the butter and allow it to melt. When the bubbles have subsided, add the fresh mushrooms. If your sauté pan can't accommodate them all at once, do this step in 2 batches. Sauté the mushrooms until they have given up their juices, and the juices have all but evaporated. In the meantime, when the pasta water boils, add the pasta to the water. Stir to be sure the strands are submerged and separated. Raise the heat to high and add the porcini and wine, being careful at the bottom of the cup that no sand that might have come from the porcini gets into the sauce. If you've cooked the fresh mushrooms in 2 batches, recombine them now. Add the shallots and thyme and sauté, stirring frequently until the wine has nearly evaporated. Taste for salt and pepper and add to your taste. Add the cream and allow it to boil until it has reduced and thickened. Remove from the heat. When the pasta is cooked to the al dente state, drain in a colander and either pour it onto a platter or divide it among 4 dishes. Either pour all of the mushroom sauce over the pasta in the platter, or spoon 1/4 over each of the dishes. Garnish with the chopped parsley and serve immediately. Pen rigate con salsiccia, 6 tablespoons butter, 1 small onion, peeled and chopped 1 clove garlic, peeled and finely chopped 1 lb. Italian sausage, 1 sprig of fresh rosemary, 2/3 cup white wine, only one you would drink. Pinch of freshly grated nutmeg, pinch of ground cloves, salt, freshly ground black pepper, 13 Oz. Pen pasta, 3/4 cup, freshly grated good quality Parmesan cheese. Heat the butter and gently fry the onion and garlic. Remove the skin from the sausages and break up the meat with a fork. Add to the pan and gently fry until well browned. Add the rosemary and the wine and cook slowly for 10 minutes. Add the nutmeg, cloves, and salt and pepper. Meanwhile, cook pasta according to directions. Al dente and drain. Mix with the sausage mixture and Parmesan cheese. Pepperoni al vaso. 6 1/2 pounds green peppers 12. Basil leaves 4 cup white minus wine vinegar. 4 cup balsamic vinegar 1 teaspoon sugar. 4 teaspoons salt 4 clove garlic. Cut in half 4 clove garlic. Chopped 3 1/2 ounce capers 7 ounce canned anchovy fillets extra virgin olive oil. Wash, core, and seed the green peppers and cut into long, thin strips. In a deep casserole, put both vinegars, the sugar, salt, and halved garlic cloves. Bring to a strong boil, then add the green peppers and cook for 10 minutes. Remove the peppers from the liquid and place on paper towels to dry. Put a layer of green peppers into a glass jar and cover with some chopped garlic, a pinch of capers, a few small anchovy pieces, and a few basil leaves. Add a second layer of green peppers and repeat the process until all the ingredients have been used. Top with basil, add fresh oil, a little at a time, pressing the jar contents down with your fingers to force the oil well down into the jar and thoroughly coat all the ingredients. At least 1/2 inch of oil must cover the top, and any air pockets must be eliminated. Seal the jar hermetically and store in a cool, dark place for 20 days. Pesto sauce. 4 cups fresh basil, 1/2 cup olive oil, 2 cloves, garlic, 6 sprigs parsley, salt, and pepper to taste, 1/4 cup pine nuts, 1/2 cup fresh grated Parmesan or Romano cheese. Place the basil in a blender. Add the oil, garlic, parsley, salt, pepper, and pine nuts. Blend until all are chopped very fine. Remove from the blender and add the Parmesan or Romano cheese. Toss with pasta. Pollo alla cacciatora, 2 pounds. Chicken part 6 TBS. Olive oil, 1 small carrot, 1 stalk celery, 1 lb. Tomatoes, peeled, seeded, and chopped salt. Pepper, bay leaf, juniper, berries, 1 glass dry white wine, 1 oz. Dried mushrooms, 1 clove garlic, 1/2 cup chicken broth, 1 TBS. Chopped parsley. Wash the chicken parts and pat minus dry. Sauté the carrot, celery, onion, and garlic in olive oil. When tender but not crisp, add the chicken parts, salt and pepper, bay leaf, juniper berry, and let brown over high flame. Add the wine and, when it has evaporated, add a few mushrooms, which have been previously constituted in warm water, the tomatoes, and 1/2 cup broth. Cook for about 1 hour over medium heat. When ready, remove from heat. Add the chopped parsley and arrange in a pre-heated serving platter. Serve. Pollo alla griglia. 1 whole chicken, 1 tablespoon coarse sea salt, kosher salt will work fine. 3-4 leaves of fresh sage, 2 cloves garlic, a 10-inch sprig of rosemary pepper to taste. Go easy. A 1/4 cup of olive oil. Split the chicken up the breastbone, squash it flat, and fold the wings up behind its back. Strip the leaves from 6 inches of the sprig of rosemary. Reserve the rest to serve as a brush, and mince them with the sage, salt, and garlic. Once the mixture is reduced to a paste, add a little bit of ground pepper to it. Stir half the oil into it and rub it into the chicken. Let the chicken marinate for an hour or so. In the meantime, build a hot fire in your barbecue. Place the chicken on a rack about 6 inches above the coals and grill it, turning it often and basting it with the remaining olive oil. Don't be surprised if the grease from the bird catches fire minus. Merely lift it out of the way, until the flames subside. The chicken will take an hour or slightly more to cook. It will be done when the meat begins to pull up along the drumsticks, and the juices run clear if you insert a skewer into the hip joint. Porchetta, 6 fresh sage leaves 4 sprigs fresh rosemary, leaves only 4 cloves garlic, peeled 1 bay leaf salt, and freshly ground black pepper 2 TBS. Olive oil 3/1/2 lb. Boneless loin of pork salt 4 TBS. Olive oil. Chop the herbs, garlic, salt, and pepper, either by hand or in a food processor. Add enough olive oil to make the mixture into a paste. Untie the pork loin and lay flat, boned rough, side facing up. Spread generously with the herb mixture. Then sprinkle generously with more freshly ground black pepper. Tie the roast with kitchen twine. You can do this the evening before you plan to serve the roast, or earlier in the day. Put the roast in a heavy pot just large enough to accommodate it, and add just enough water to barely cover it. Add about 1 TBS. Salt to the pot and bring to the boil, skimming off any scum that rises to the surface. When the water boils, lower the heat to medium, so it's not boiling but bubbling fairly briskly. Cook until the water boils off minus about 1 hour. Add enough olive oil to coat the bottom of the pan, and continue cooking over medium heat. And when the roast develops a nice crust all over, remove to a warm platter and allow it to rest for approximately 15 minutes. Ragu alla bolognese. 1/3 pound of ground veal, 1/3 pound of ground beef, 1/4 pound bacon, 1 tablespoon butter, 1 onion, 1 carrot, 1 celery stalk, 1/4 cup of red wine tomato sauce, 1/2 cup broth, milk, salt, and pepper. Chop in fine pieces the onion, carrot, celery, and bacon. Place everything in a saucepan, add the meats and mix well. Add the butter and cook over a slow fire. Then add the wine and 1/4 cup broth. When the broth is absorbed, add another 1/4 cup broth and let it evaporate. Add a bit of tomato sauce, salt, and pepper. Cover the meat with a bit of boiling milk and continue cooking until it has been absorbed. This sauce can be used on all types of pasta. Ratatouille nicoise. 1/3 cup olive oil, 2 or more cloves of garlic, chopped 1 large onion, sliced 2 zucchini, scrubbed 1 small eggplant, 3 tablespoons, flour 2 green peppers, seeded and cut into strips 1 hash 2 can Italian plum tomatoes, salt and pepper, 1 tablespoon capers, drained and chopped. Heat oil in large skillet, add garlic and onion and saute. Slice the zucchini and peel and cube eggplant. Flour the pieces lightly. Add vegetables to the skillet. Cover and cook slowly -1 hour. Add tomatoes and simmer uncovered until mixture thickens. Salt and pepper, and add capers in the last 15 minutes of cooking. Ribollita. 1 cup dried cannellini. Great Northern or navy beans, 1 lb. Savoy cabbage, roughly chopped 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil, 1 medium onion, finely chopped 1 TBS. Tomato paste, 1 stalk celery, finely chopped 1 carrot, peeled and finely chopped 6-8 cups water, or a combination of chicken broth and water, 1 TBS. Fresh thyme, finely chopped salt and freshly ground black pepper, 4-1. Thick slices Italian, preferably Tuscan, bread 2 cloves garlic, peeled and halved. The day before you plan to prepare the soup, soak the beans in about 1 quart of cold water for approximately 12 hours. When you're ready to cook, drain the beans and reserve. Heat about 3 TBS of the olive oil in a large saucepan, set over low heat. Add the onion and stir until it has become wilted, about 5 minutes. Add the tomato paste, celery, and carrots. Cook, stirring often for another 5 to 10 minutes until the celery softens. Add the cabbage, stirring to coat with the olive oil, Then add the water or water and broth, beans and thyme. Season to your taste with salt and pepper and bring to the boil. When the soup reaches the boil, reduce the heat to low, cover and cook gently for about 2 hours. While the soup is simmering, pre-minus heat the oven to 350 F. Toast the bread until golden, then remove, rub with the garlic halves and reserve. When the soup has cooked for 2 hours, crumble the bread roughly into the pot, stir and allow the soup to stand minus off the heat minus until completely cool, then refrigerate. Before serving, the next day, return the soup pot to the stove and bring to the boil, stirring constantly to prevent sticking. Taste once again for salt and pepper, and either pour the soup into a tureen to bring to the table, or ladle into individual soup dishes. Garnish each dish with approximately 1 tbs of the remaining olive oil. Risotto all'asparagi. 2 cups Italian rice, risotto arborio, 1/2 cup salted butter, or 1/4 cup olive oil, 2 tablespoon dried parsley, 1 whole red onion, chopped. 5-6 cups chicken stock, 20 asparagus spears, 1/4 cup olive oil, 3 cloves garlic, minced, 8 tablespoon Parmigiano cheese, grated. Rice preparation. In a saucepan, melt butter or add 1/4 cup olive oil. Add onions and parsley. Cook until onion is transparent. Turn heat to high. Add rice. Add 3 ladles of hot chicken stock into rice. Stir constantly until liquid is absorbed. Continue adding stock, 3 ladles at a time, and stir until rice is tender. Rice should be sticky, and no liquid should remain. Rice should be firm like pudding or custard. Put rice aside. Asparagus preparation. In a fry pan, add 1/4 cup olive oil and garlic. Cook until garlic is golden. Cut asparagus into 1-inch diagonal pieces. Leave 5-6 spears uncut. Will be used for garnish. On medium/high setting, cook asparagus, both cut and whole, uncovered for 3 minutes. Add 1/4 cup chicken stock, salt and pepper to taste. Continue cooking covered until tender. Final preparation. Add asparagus to rice. Place back on stove, add the cheese and stir. Add more cheese if desired. Place rice on a serving dish and garnish with whole cooked asparagus spears. Risotto alla Parmigiana. 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1 medium onion. Finely chopped 1 pound arborio rice, 6 cups chicken stock. Hot 2 tablespoons butter, 3 ounces Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, coarsely grated. Heat the butter and oil in a large, straight-sided sauté pan or saucepan. Add the onion and sauté until soft, without browning. Add the rice and sauté for 2 minutes until the rice is well coated. Ladle 1/2 cup of stock into the rice, stirring constantly until all the liquid is absorbed and the rice is almost dry. Add more stock, 1/2 cup at a time, until it's all absorbed by the rice and the rice is al dente. The rice should be very moist and creamy, but not runny. The rice should be firm but tender, not crunchy. Remove from heat and stir in the raw butter and the Parmigiano cheese. Salt to taste and serve immediately. Scallops in creamy pesto, 1 tbl. Unsalted butter, 1 clove of garlic minced 1 small onion diced 1/4 cup dry white wine, 1/2 cup fish or chicken stock, 1 tbl. Fresh basil minced 1 lb. Large scallops 1/3 cup half and half. Melt the butter in a large skillet over medium heat. Add the garlic and onion and cook about 5 minutes until the onion is translucent. Stir in the wine, stock, and basil. Add the scallops and simmer for 5 minutes or until they are no longer opaque. Using a slotted spoon, Remove the scallops from the pan and keep warm. Add the half minus and minus half to the poaching liquid and bring the sauce to a boil. Simmer rapidly for about 10 minutes, or until the sauce is the consistency of heavy cream. Strain the sauce through a sieve. Combine the sauce and scallops and toss to coat. Shrimp organado, 2 pounds, medium shrimp, cleaned and shelled 2 cups bread, crumbs 2 cloves of garlic minus minced 2 tbls, of parsley 1 tsp, paprika 1 teaspoon, oregano 1/4 cup, olive oil 2 cups, chicken broth 2 lemons. Pre-minus heat, oven to 375 degrees. Combine breadcrumbs, oil, garlic, parsley, oregano, and paprika in a medium bowl and mix together well. Butterfly shrimp and place face up in a baking pan. Place a portion of the breadcrumb mixture on top of each shrimp. Pour chicken broth around shrimp, making sure not to cover shrimp, and wash away breadcrumb mixture. Place in oven and bake for 15–20 minutes until done. Transfer shrimp to serving plates and pour a little of the juice from the baking pan on top. Cut lemon into wedges and serve shrimp with lemon wedges. Saroseti, 1 head cauliflower, cored and broken into florets 4 med. Carrots, peeled and sliced 1 med. Bunch of celery, washed and sliced 24 cipolline or pearl onions, peeled 12 cloves of garlic, peeled 3–4 cups water 2–3 tbs, salt 1/2–1 tbs, sugar 2 tbs, pickling spices 3–4 cups white vinegar. Prepare the vegetables and place in a large ceramic or glass container large enough to hold them and the added liquid. Bring 4 cups of water to the boil, then add the salt, sugar, and pickling spices. Stir to dissolve the salt and sugar. Then remove from the heat and pour 3 cups of the solution over the vegetables, reserving the last cup. Allow the mixture to steep for about 5 minutes to blanch the vegetables slightly. Then add 3 cups of the vinegar. If the resulting brine doesn't cover the vegetables completely, add equal parts of water and vinegar to cover. When the vegetables have cooled, cover the container and refrigerate. The saroseti is ready to eat after 4 to 5 days. If you care to, divide the vegetables and brine among several canning jars and refrigerate. Saroseti will keep for at least a month. Refrigerated. Spaghetti e scampi, 1 lb. Italian spaghetti, tagliatelle or linguine 10 Oz. Shrimp, peeled and minus, veined 4 tbs. Extra virgin olive oil, 1 tbs. Tomato sauce 1 dry hot red chili pepper. Crushed 1 cup heavy cream 1 tbs. Curry powder 1 lg. Red bell pepper, seeded and diced salt to taste. Cook spaghetti in a large pot of boiling salted water until al dente, cooked just right. Meanwhile, medium heat olive oil in a heavy skillet or cast iron frying pan. Add shrimp and cook for 2 minutes, turning once. Drain in a separate skillet. Pour cream, stir in tomato sauce, curry powder, chili pepper, and heat to a light boil. Add shrimp, bell pepper, and cook for 2 minutes. Drain spaghetti, do not rinse, and add it to the skillet containing the shrimp and spaghetti sauce. Cook for 1 minute over medium heat, stirring lightly to mix. Salt to taste. Arrange spaghetti and shrimp on a platter and serve. Spumone di zebegliani. 6 eggs 1/2 cup sugar 1/2 tsp. Nutmeg 1/2 cup marsala 3 tablespoon. Dark rum 1–1/2 cup heavy cream. Separate the eggs and place the yolks in the top part of a double boiler. Place the whites in a stainless steel bowl at room temperature. Add sugar and nutmeg to eggs and beat, off the heat, until it forms ribbons. Add marsala and rum and place over double boiler. Beat until frothy and foamy and quite firm, about 2 to 3 minutes. Remove to ice bath and cool while whisking. Beat the cream to soft peaks and fold egg mixture into whites. Place into ice cream machine and chill according to manufacturer's instructions. Place in freezer, well covered. When ready to serve, scoop into balls and garnish with crushed amaretti cookies. Steak alla pizzaiola, 2 lb. Rib roast, 4 steaks or club steaks, 2 Oz. Lard or 3 tablespoons, oil 1 clove garlic red pepper. Optional, 1 tablespoon parsley. Chopped fine 1 teaspoon salt freshly ground tomatoes. Italian plum. 1/4 cup dry red wine 2 tablespoon oil. 2 tablespoon oil, chop the lard and garlic very fine. Brown in a frying pan. Add tomatoes, 1 glass of water, add wine. Cook slowly for 15 minutes, stir occasionally, and then add salt and pepper to taste. In another pan, sauté steaks in oil until brown on both sides. Place steak in sauce and cook in 300F oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Garnish with parsley, stracciatella, 2 eggs, 4 teaspoons finely grated Parmesan cheese, a pinch of kosher salt, plus 1-1/2 teaspoons, a pinch of freshly grated nutmeg, 1 tablespoon all-purpose flour, 4 cups chicken stock or beef stock, 1 pound spinach or Swiss chard. Stemmed and leaves cut across into narrow strips. Optional freshly ground black pepper to taste. In a small bowl, stir together the eggs, cheese, pinch of salt, the nutmeg, and flour. Try not to get the eggs at all frothy. Note, use a pot that is large enough to hold the colander over the stock without actually touching it, so that the egg can flow freely into the soup to form the strings. In a medium saucepan, bring the stock to a boil. Place a colander with widely spaced holes over the boiling stock. Pour the egg mixture through the colander. Remove the colander and stir the soup once or twice. Remove from the heat, or, if using the greens, lower the heat and stir them in just a heat through. Remove from the heat and season with salt and pepper. Serve immediately. Stuffed roasted peppers, 4-7 Oz. Cans roasted peppers, 1 cup. Seasoned breadcrumbs, 8 Oz. Shredded fontina cheese, 3 cloves. Minced garlic, 1/4 cup. Imported grated Romano cheese, a few sprigs of fresh parsley. Chopped fine salt and pepper flour and beaten eggs, enough to dredge peppers in, olive oil to fry peppers in. Drain peppers and rinse with water. Open peppers, splitting in one side, so that they lay flat on counter. Sprinkle with small amount of breadcrumbs, reserving most to coat peppers with. Add minced garlic, shredded fontina cheese, parsley, and grated Romano cheese. Roll up peppers, keeping as much filling inside as possible, then dredge in flour, egg, then seasoned bread crumbs and set aside. Heat olive oil on medium-high heat in fry pan. When hot, fry peppers until golden, turning once to brown evenly. Sprinkle with salt and pepper and serve. Tiramisu, 4 tablespoons espresso coffee, 1 tablespoon grappa, 3 eggs, separated 1/2 cup sugar, 8 ounces mascarpone cheese, 24 savoiardi biscuits, 1 ounce sweet chocolate, grated. In a small bowl, combine the coffee and grappa. Set aside in a medium bowl, beat the egg whites until stiff. Set aside. In a large bowl, beat the egg yolks together with the sugar until thick and lemon-colored. Add the mascarpone and blend. Gently fold the egg whites into the cheese mixture. Place half of the biscuits in the bottom of a 10-inch square baking dish or larger serving plate. Sprinkle with half of the coffee mixture. Cover with half of the cheese mixture and repeat process. Refrigerate tiramisu for 4 hours before serving with grated chocolate. Tomato bruschetta, 1 loaf Italian bread, halved lengthwise then cut crosswise diagonally, into 1- in slices 1 garlic clove. Minced 2 tablespoon olive oil, 2 large tomatoes, peeled, seeded, and chopped 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1/2 cup chopped fresh basil. Toast the bread under the broiler until lightly browned. Combine the garlic and olive oil and brush over one side of the bread. Spread the tomatoes over the bread. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Broil for about 30 seconds to heat the tomatoes. Sprinkle with basil and serve. Tonno in padella. 1/2 ounce dried porcini mushrooms, 2 garlic cloves, 2 tbls of parsley minus chopped dash of marjoram 6 anchovy, fillets 1 tbl, capers 6 tbls, olive oil 1 tbl, flour 1/4 cup of white wine salt dash of black pepper 4 tuna, steaks minus skin juice of 1/2 lemon. Soak the porcini in hot water for about an hour. Add the garlic, parsley, marjoram, anchovies and capers, and chop together with the mushrooms. Heat the oil and the parsley mixture in a large sauté pan and sauté for a few minutes. Blend in the flour, cook for about 1 minute, and then pour in the wine. Boil a few minutes while stirring. If the sauce is too thick, add a little hot water. Add salt and pepper, rinse and dry tuna steaks, and lay them in the pan in a single layer. Cook for 2 or 3 minutes, depending on their thickness. Then turn the steaks over and continue to cook until no blood comes to the surface. Test to see if steaks are done. Ladle sauce over steaks. Torta di spinaci. 10 Oz. Spinach, blanched 1 minute. Drained, dried and chopped 2 cups all-purpose flour. Extra for kneading dough 1/2 cup unsalted butter, 4 Oz. 1 egg yolk plus 3 whole eggs. Beaten 3 tbs milk 1/4 cup golden raisins. Soak 30 minutes in water. Drain 3/4 cup heavy cream 1/2 cup grated Parmesan cheese salt and ground pepper 1/2 tbs, 1 Oz. Pine nuts. To make dough by hand, pour flour into a bowl, add salt and the butter. Using fingertips, work the butter into flour until a crumbly dough forms. Add the egg yolk and milk, incorporate, and knead dough into a ball. Wrap in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 1 hour. Food processor dough. Combine flour and salt in the work bowl and using metal blades process briefly to mix. Add butter and process until the ingredients resemble coarse meal. Next, add egg yolk and milk and process until dough forms a ball around the blades. Remove dough, shape to ball, wrap in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 1 hour. Pre-minus heat, oven to 350 degrees. Using 1 tbs. Butter, grease a 9-inch tart pan with a removable bottom, and then dust with flour. Using a lightly floured board, roll out the dough into a round shape, making it 1 inch larger than the diameter of the pan. Line the prepared pan with the pastry dough and trim. In a bowl, combine the blanched, chopped spinach, raisins, whole eggs, cream, and Parmesan cheese. Mix well and season with salt and pepper to taste. Pour into the pastry minus lined tart pan and top with the pine nuts. Bake in oven until it is golden, about 40 minutes. Remove, let cool slightly, and then transfer to a serving dish. Serve torta lukewarm or cool. Torzelli, 8 sm. Chicory heads, still in each bunch 1/2 cup virgin olive oil kosher, salt freshly ground black pepper zest of 2 lemons. Bring 6 quarts water to boil and add 2 tablespoons. Salt. Drop chicory into water and cook until tender, 4 to 5 minutes. Remove and refresh in cold water bath. Drain well on towels. In a 12- to 14- sauté pan, heat olive oil until smoking. Fry chicory, still in bunches, until quite brown and crispy. Remove to paper towels and season with salt, pepper, and lemon zest. Veal scallopine. 6 veal scallops, about 5 ounces each 2 eggs. Beaten 2 cups dry breadcrumbs, 4 ounces butter or oil, 6 ripe tomatoes. Peeled, seeded, chopped 3 tablespoons fresh basil, 2 tablespoons olive oil. Dip each scallop into the beaten eggs, followed by the breadcrumbs to coat. Heat butter in a skillet. Fry each scallop until golden, then repeat on other side. This should take about 5 minutes. Drain on paper towels. In a bowl, combine the tomatoes with the basil and olive oil. To serve, place tomatoes on warm or room temperature breaded scallops. White clam sauce, 2-7, 1/2 cans minced clams, 4 cloves garlic. Minced or chopped 1/4 cup butter or margarine 1/4 cup olive oil 3 tbls. Chopped parsley, grated Parmesan, cheese 1 teaspoon salt. Drain clams, saving 3/4 cup clam juices. Set aside. In a skillet, slowly heat the olive oil and butter. Add garlic and saute until golden. Remove from heat. Stir in clam liquid. Add parsley, salt, and bring to a boil. Reduce heat. Simmer uncovered 10 minutes. Add clams and simmer 3 minutes longer. Serve clam sauce hot over cooked spaghetti or other pasta and top with Parmesan cheese. This sauce will cover about 1/2 pound of spaghetti or other pasta. Zucchini lasagna, 1 lb. Lasagna noodles, cooked 1/16 oz. Can, 1 lb. Stewed tomatoes, 3 or 4 lg. Zucchini, grated Parmesan, cheese 1/2 lb. Mozzarella cheese, shredded 3/4 cup. Chopped onion, 4 to 6 cloves. Garlic, chopped or minced 1 sm. Canned tomato paste, 1/2 cup. Sliced mushrooms, 1 lb. Lean ground beef, 1/2 tsp. Oregano, 1/4 tsp. Thyme, 1/4 cup. Fresh basil, chopped. Ground pepper optional. 1/4 cup. Red wine. 1. Cook lasagna noodles according to package directions, or until tender but still firm. Drain, keep warm. 2. Meanwhile, to make lasagna sauce, saute ground beef. Garlic and onion is a large, heavy skillet or cast iron frying pan until beef is done. Add sauce, mushrooms, oregano, thyme, basil, wine, or 1/4 cup water. Touch of pepper and mix well. Simmer 45 to 50 minutes. 3. To prepare zucchini for this recipe, cut in half or cook whole in a large covered pot with 1 to 2 inches of water. Boil gently for about 5 minutes. Drain and cut lengthwise into 1/4-inch slices. 4. Grease a 9x13 or larger baking pan. Arrange a first layer of noodles so the ends hang over both sides of the pan. These will be folded back minus over the top on the final layer. Next, add a layer of the cooked zucchini, a layer of lasagna sauce, a layer of mozzarella cheese. Repeat. For the top layer, fold the ends of the pasta from the first layer over the top and add more sauce. Top with Parmesan cheese and cover with foil. Bake at 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. Uncover and bake until brown, approximately 10 minutes. Serve this lasagna recipe with French bread and have additional Parmesan cheese at the table. Zucchini ripieno al prosciutto. 6 medium zucchini, 3 eggs, 5 to 6 tablespoons dry breadcrumbs, 3 tablespoons freshly grated Parmesan, 1 tablespoon butter. Melted 6 ounces prosciutto, cut into strips. Salt and pepper. 2 tablespoons olive oil. Steam the whole zucchini for approximately 8 minutes or until tender. Let cool. Remove ends and cut zucchini in half. Using a melon baller, scoop out center of the 12 zucchini boats. Reserve zucchini for another purpose. Preheat oven to 350 degrees F. In a small bowl, beat the eggs. Stir in the breadcrumbs, cheese, butter, and ham. Mix well. Transfer mixture to a small skillet and cook until no liquid remains. Season with salt and pepper. Fill zucchini boats with mixture. Pour the olive oil plus 2 tablespoons water into a large baking dish. Bake for 20 minutes. Zuppa d'aglio. 3 heads garlic. Fresh 1/4 cup olive oil. 1 medium onion. cut up 2 celery ribs, cut up 1 cup white wine, dry 1/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1 gallon chicken stock, 1 medium potato, peeled and cut up 1 cup whipping cream, 10 basil leaves, fresh, chopped 5 sprigs thyme leaves, fresh 2 teaspoons salt, 1 teaspoon white pepper, 1/2 teaspoon Tabasco, 1 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, sliced very thin. 1. Cut the garlic heads in half across and remove the papery outer skin. Put these cut side down on a very hot surface minus a griddle or black iron skillet minus until they are black. Peel all the garlic completely. 2. Heat the olive oil in a large saucepan and sauté the onions, celery, and the garlic until lightly browned at the edges. Add the wine and bring to a boil. 3. Sprinkle in the flour and stir the pot thoroughly, but don't let it brown. Add the chicken stock, 1/2 gallon water, and the potato. Whisk about the pot well and bring to a boil. Reduce to a rapid simmer and cook for about an hour and 15 minutes. 4. Strain out the solids from the soup and puree them in a blender or food processor, along with enough broth to ease things along. Return the puree to the soup and restore the boil. Add the whipping cream, basil, thyme, salt, pepper, and Tabasco. 5. Heat the extra virgin olive oil in a skillet very hot. In it, toast the slivers of garlic until brown around the outside. 6. Ladle the soup into bowls and garnish with roasted garlic slivers. Float a toasted, garlic minus buttered slice of French bread on top.